नमस्कार मंडळी, माझं नाव आहे श्रवण आणि येस, थिएटरबद्दल गप्पा मारायच्या असतील किंवा थिएटर कलाकारांच्या एकदम इंटरेस्टिंग गोष्टी जाणून घ्यायच्या असतील तर ते सगळे इथे होणार आहेत. कारण मी आज आहे इथे NCPA मध्ये, जिथे होतोय प्रतिबिंब मराठी नाट्य उत्सव. डू यू वॉन्ट टू सी द मॅजिक? चला दाखवतो. हाऊ डू यू मॅनेज टू लुक सो यंग स्टिल?
नाटकाची अशी एक एक आठवण नसते, अनेक अशा आठवणींचं कोलाज असतं.
मला पहिलं माझं नाटक होतं, पहिली एकांकिका, पहिलं माझं स्टेज परफॉर्मन्स, तेव्हा मी ब्लॅक झालो. त्याच्यानंतर मी आजपर्यंत झालो नाही.
थिएटर मी फक्त स्वतःपुरतं करतो. इट इज जस्ट माय जेलसी, इट इज माय लव्ह.
इकडे तिकडे लोळून लोळून पाटावरती घोळून घोळून घाम गाळून तुमच्यासाठी गोष्ट घेऊन आलो. बोला, गोष्ट घ्या.
ऑल टाइम फेवरेट थिएटर डिरेक्टर्स.
तो माणूस आता काम करत नाही, विजय जोशी.
बापरे.
आजही प्रयोग करताना हे टेन्शन असायलाच हवं आपल्याला की नाटक महत्वाचे.
नमस्कार मंडळी, माझं नाव आहे श्रवण आणि येस, थिएटर डिटेल्स मध्ये तुमचं खूप खूप स्वागत आहे बाय झी थिएटर. आणि येस, आज आपण इथे आहोत NCPA मध्ये आणि काय वेगळाच कार्यक्रम आहे. प्रतिबिंब मराठी नाट्य उत्सव सुरू आहे आणि आज आपल्यासोबत आहेत ब्रूस. ही इज द हेड ऑफ फिल्म अँड थिएटर, इफ आय एम नॉट. येस, दॅट्स हिज डेझिग्नेशन. आणि हा, आपण इथे मराठीत तर नाही बोलणार आहोत त्याच्याशी, बट वी आर ट्राय टू लाईक स्पीक इन मराठी लिटल बिट बिकॉज माय इंग्लिश इज वाव.
Your English is excellent. Your English is much better than my Marathi. But
So Bruce, thank you for coming on our show. And like this year, we have been partnered with Z Theatre, and NCP has always surprised us with different kind of plays, different kind of festivals. How different is Pratibimb?
I think it's bigger than it's been in previous years. I mean, we restarted Pratibimb in just after the pandemic, and we had 4 plays, and that now we have 9 plays happening over the course of 3 days here, including 3 premieres and 1 Mumbai premiere as well. 2 workshops. So there's lots and lots going on. It's all very busy. A lot of the shows are selling out and have sold out. And there's just a great buzz, a lovely atmosphere at NCPA. And it's lovely to have so many Marathi speakers and so many Marathi plays coming back to the NCPA as well.
Super. But I want to ask you this question: how did you got associated with NCPA? What was that first step that you came from your country to this India?
Yeah.
Beautiful country, of course, no doubt, and there might be something that has attracted you here.
Well, I'd always wanted to come here. It was a place that had always intrigued me, but I'd never had the opportunity to come. And then I was directing a show in New York, and the producer on that show was also working as a consultant for the NCPA. And because I've worked quite a lot internationally, he said, "Would you be interested in coming and doing a show in India?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." It's just that kills 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. So I came to NCPA and directed a play here, and had a great time. Really enjoyed working with everybody. The culture, the food, the city, it's just incredible. So when they called me 9 months later and said, "Would you like to have a discussion about coming and making it a bit more permanent?" I jumped at the chance.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big change. It's a big shift, big cultural difference. But ultimately is that, there's a great passion for theatre here, in a variety of languages and a variety of different styles. So as somebody who works as a theatre director myself, is that it's just so exciting to see so many different ways to approach this art form.
Absolutely. You've seen theater across all the country. Like just now you mentioned that you have directed a play in New York as well.
Yeah.
What is that major difference that you see in Indian theater and the theater that happens in other countries?
It's not a difference, but that each country and each culture has a deep personal connection, which is unique to that culture. And India feels like it's many different countries and cultures all together under one roof. It's just that, as Shashi Tharoor describes it, it's just that it's like a great tally of all these different dishes that are all together, but that when you put them all together, it's just that it's a really incredible experience.
And in many languages as well.
Absolutely. And I think that that's the thing, is that language is so emotional and historic and deeply embedded in us. It's not just what we say, it's how we say it. And that's why it's important to us at NCPA, and it's important to me as the head of the theatre and film division, that we are representative of language and culture from across the country. And what better way to start than in our home state of Maharashtra?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's been, I guess, 4-5 years you have been with NCPA.
Yeah.
5 years. That, as you mentioned, you came and COVID happened.
Yeah.
Within a month. What were you doing during the COVID time in NCPA?
Reading a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Did
funny.
you wrote something like a play?
No, I didn't write anything. I mean, I directed a couple of things. I directed Jim Sarb in a piece which we put out, which was a recorded piece that we put out. But I did a lot of reading and a lot of ideating, so a lot of different ideas. And actually, it's where Pratibimb came from, because it was a festival that used to happen here a few years ago. And I looked at all the different festivals and all the different things that used to happen at NCPA over the last 55 years, and read a lot of what Dr. Baba wrote, and read a lot of what P.L. Deshpande wrote, and J.R.D. Tata, and what their vision was for this place, and what the vision of our chairman just now, Mr. Suntuk's, how he feels about it. And that really fed into what it is that we do here now. So it's about being representative of culture and language, but also it's about quality, so the very best people, but also giving access to the up-and-coming generations. So it's about identifying talent and then giving talent the space to grow. And that, to me, is really what a place like NCPA should be doing.
It's so beautiful that you have adapted Indian culture as well, because you are part of NCPA, and exactly that I wanted to tell my audience also, that की चाहे कुठलाही देशातनं कुठूनही आपण आलो तरी ते अडॅप्ट करणं खूप इम्पॉर्टंट आहे, आणि हे ब्रूसनी खूप छान रीतीने केलेलं आहे. So Bruce, really, I just told them that how well you have adapted.
Oh, well, thank
I
you.
talked good about you only.
No, that's nice. That's nice. But I bring a different perspective, I think. I think that, as somebody who comes from outside into a culture, there are certain elements of that culture that maybe people who live with it on a day-to-day basis take for granted. Not that they don't value it, but that they just think, oh yeah, that's what happens. Whereas when somebody for whom it's not the normal, and that they come in and they have a look at it and they go, that's extraordinary, then maybe it gets celebrated in a different way. And that's what I hope in terms of adding value. I have a lot of amazing consultants and advisors who see a lot of work, and we will talk regularly about what kind of work we should be doing. But on the whole is that it's always good to come to all this work with a feeling of curiosity. Be curious about everything.
As NCP as a theater, of course, we have seen that the technology is also growing. I have seen a couple of plays where AI has been introduced. There was one Marathi play that I recently saw, which is called Ajibai Zorat.
Right. Okay.
So they used AI as a tool, and they what do you call it, the announcement that happens in the beginning of the play, they used an AI tool in that.
Wow.
So is NCPA trying to use a new technology, and is there a process for it?
I think.
Do you believe in AI?
Yeah. Well, it exists, so I must believe in it. I believe in it as a tool. I believe that that Ken Light said that there are certain tasks, just in the same way as any electronic device. Think about phones, think about computers, think about everything like that. They all started as these things that we thought we'll never use them in our everyday lives, and that yet we do. Everyone's got a smartphone, and that's the thing is that it's we can't really predict where it's going to go, but I do think it's a useful tool. I think it's a useful thing to support, just in the same way as lighting design is a useful way to support a theatrical performance. Exactly. But it can't replace it. The most interesting thing is always the performer and always the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think as a tool, great, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But I don't see, certainly not the way that technology is at the moment, is that it's like when you listen to a record and you listen to it on vinyl, it's a very different experience to listening to it on a CD, to listening to it on an MP3, to listening to it live.
Exactly.
And vinyl and CDs and MP3s have not replaced concerts, nor will they ever, because there's something that happens to people when we gather together and we listen to another person tell a story. True. Or perform in some way, shape, or form that can never be replaced. So I think it's a great tool, but it won't be replacing anyone anytime soon.
Superb. So what's the next for Pratibimb in in the year 2025?
Keep going with it. Maybe, we're already doing new work now. Darpan has had its second year. We will have a third year of that. I'd like to engage more with the Marathi community. I'd like us to have more events going on over the course of the year so that we're doing more plays.
So are you
in
indirectly
Marathi.
telling that, are you going to give me a break in NCPA?
Absolutely. No, listen, is that we are open to talent from all areas. But I think that's the thing, is that with the festival itself, it would be great even to be able to take the festival itself to different parts of the state. So Pratibimb becomes something which goes on in more places than just NCPA.
Superb. Thanks a lot, Bruce. It was really wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
अजून
Appreciate it.
बऱ्याच काही अशा गप्पा इथे राहणार आहेत. तुम्ही बस स्टे ट्यून टू झी थिएटर.